I'm the police.
Yeah.
And then another one goes, and I'm a robot.
Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, BBs. It is too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And you all first of all, don't you tell me what to do. And second of all, don't y'all start. You have no idea how we were up late last night.
I thought you said not to tell him.
No, I didn't. I said don't tell him the other thing about me personally. But we were up late last night,
They're
working
gonna assume
hard.
we're tired if we were up late and you say don't tell us anything. We were up late.
Only because you just said it.
But otherwise, what's the problem with us being up late?
The problem is we were doing a lot of work. And we did it all. We do it for you. Can't you
everyone.
see?
Hey, good
we
morning.
do it for you.
Anthony gets 70% more musical when he's tired. There has not been an ounce of
Let's
air in this room
make it
all morning.
80.
We might already be there.
We're back. We had a little bit of a crippling technical issue that ground everything to a halt.
Well, should we talk about what happened?
Do you want? That's your call.
Okay, I talked about it on the Patreon. We talked to the very special BBs over there first.
All BBs are special.
There's just some that are.
No, we don't finish that.
Anyways,
Not in front of the paywall.
Anyways, hi everyone.
Let's make it 90.
We're robbed.
We were robbed.
And I have no choice but to laugh. Our studio was broken into and robbed a couple of weeks ago, which is why our show has been offline.
Literally, some very awful people just busted down into the studio.
Yep.
And smashed and or grabbed literally everything.
Chris Traeger moment over here.
Literally everything.
Yeah. So hey, we're just gonna be like chilling on us for a moment. It's pretty awful. It's pretty terrible. We're using a lot of borrowed equipment right now, and we're very grateful that we have a lovely community around us that was willing to do that. We're down to we don't have our multicam right now. It's been very bad. It's been very. Hey buddy.
Let's make it 95.
Hey buddy, you gotta let me get through this one. You gotta let me get through this part. Hey, bud, don't sing right now. You got to let me get through this part.
It was very bad.
Okay. Yeah, so most of our equipment was stolen. We're working on insurance claims, and for the time being, we are on a real skeleton crew kind of gear setup.
Coming to Disney Plus December 3rd.
On my birthday, winter 3rd. Anyways, yeah, so it's really bad. The people, I can't give you any information about like the criminal case. It's been like CSI level in here with cops and stuff. It's
Also,
terrible. I hate to deal with the cops.
Please respect our OPSEC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gotta respect the OPSEC.
Those dudes didn't respect our OPSEC.
They really didn't.
They really
and we
did
ask
not.
that everyone does going forward. I'm also just gonna say on the internet that the entryway to our studio is now lined with explosives. Mm-hmm. And so don't try something like that again.
Yeah, and lead. So
Yeah.
if you're from Krypton, you don't even know what's going on in
You're
here.
done. You're
Done.
absolutely cooked, bro.
We got EMP grenades just in case you're a Batman trying to look through.
Exactly. We are soon to be completely impenetrable against all forms of super villains.
If you're a Spider-Man, we posted a social interaction at the door. There's no way you'll make it.
Yeah, you'll have to talk to a woman. We were looking through a lot of security measures. All kinds of new things have been put in place. That's really great and all. I did come across one that was really fun. I was looking on Amazon for alarms that would go off if you even came close to the door overnight, right?
Yes.
Like not just alarms when you get inside. I want something to yell at you if you even look at it wrong, okay? We can't do this again. Do you understand? And I found some stuff, but one of my favorites was a lot of the default settings for those kinds of alarms are, for some reason, gunshot sounds. So I found an external alarm that will have dogs barking and gunshot sounds.
At
The
the
combination
same time.
of those two things is the default setting.
Just like, arr, arr, arr.
Yeah.
Wee-oo, wee-oo. And then there's 13 voices that go, I'm the police.
Yeah.
And then another one goes, and I'm a robot.
Yeah, but we recorded them all ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
And
talked
then-
about a lot of options for it.
And then one of them is just the anime girl going,
Yeah. That was just on the soundboard. We couldn't
Yeah.
get rid of it. Are the dogs shooting the guns? We also wondered that.
Are the guns shooting the anime girls who are shooting the
Right.
dogs?
I don't know, but I love it. I think it's rather threatening. It does give you the option to put in your own voice as well. So I really wanted to just do the scream from TikTok.
Yeah, well,
Get out of here.
why you oughta.
You know, I thought that would be fun.
Just like an old Brooklyn person just being like, I know your mother. She'd be very disappointed.
Don't you?
This is gonna break her heart.
Yeah, I considered the other TikTok sound of like the run. No. We've considered a lot of things, but we landed on explosives.
I really wanted to just do the wait.
Yeah.
They don't love you like I love you. Listen, for those who are asking, no one was hurt. No one was in the studio, near the studio. As far as insurance, hey, Pixel Circus is insured.
Yes.
How much of that insurance makes it into our hands? We'll find out.
Look,
We do still have a lovely Patreon, an active donation link,
which people have been clicking like crazy. Thank you very much. We love you.
and we appreciate all your subs and donations.
Yeah, we're very grateful that it wasn't worse than it is. I'm not grateful that it happened. That's fucked up, man. That's really messed up. That's devastating. We're a small business, and that was mean as hell. But yeah, right now we're hoping insurance is going to help us replace a lot of our equipment.
Sure.
And the things that we can't. And there is some point in the future that we might be running some kind of fun little like fundraiser marathon stream, mostly also to pay for all of the very expensive security measures of gunshots and dogs barking.
Yeah, here are the things that we're hoping. We're hoping, number one, insurance pays us. We're hoping, number two, the police find these robbers and bring them to justice.
Yeah.
And number three, all human nature is inherently good. How many of those things are we going to get? Tough to say.
I don't know.
We've got a lovely show for you, though, because they can't stop us. We can't be stopped.
Yes.
We're going to talk, of course, about the Onion buying InfoWars. We're going to talk about the growth of Blue Sky. We've got some Nintendo news, both good and ill. We're going to talk about a little bit of a Star War, maybe. Maybe. We got a lot of good stuff.
We're going to say good morning to Alex.
The Prince of Lies himself.
If it works, this set's going to be so messy over there. A new setup.
I'm here, and I'm very excited to be here.
And your lights aren't on.
And my lights aren't on.
And is your mic on? I don't know.
Hello.
Good.
Oh my God.
We'll fix that.
Okay,
This
it came
is-
in a little
no.
hot there. No mic.
No
Okay.
mic.
Well, that didn't happen.
There.
Well,
All
listen.
that comes out of his mouth
Everyone
are
said
lies
it was
anyway.
just faint. Some people are saying no audio. Some people are saying faint. So some people hear better than others, is what we've established.
But
listen,
Alex is here.
Alex is
Alex
here.
was not stolen. Alex was not here
Yeah.
when the thieves were here.
Yeah. Again, you guys, we're on a lot of temporary equipment, backup equipment, old equipment. So, bear with us.
We're running on a steam engine right now. We're
Yeah.
using a generator, a steam generator.
And you know what? You know what sucks? Okay, so we had put in the chat.
Getting
that-
robbed?
Yeah, dude, it's so bad. Like, no joke, it's so fucking bad.
I can't tell you,
It's been such a nightmare. I have to spend every day on the phone with insurance.
and it's all
Kill me.
insurance, and she's doing so much paperwork and
God.
so many phone calls.
But what else sucks is our desktop computer. We managed to keep that. Killing it. They stole all the laptops in the studio. But our desktop computer was here. But unfortunately, it was bricked by them trying to get into all of our Microsoft accounts from the laptop. So that's why we couldn't do a show on Monday.
Yeah. It was bricked from that, and I guess sudden removal from. There was a lot of stuff. Let me tell you something about computies. Computies love a break.
Don't they?
Oh, computy love to break.
Favorite thing.
Favorite thing. You unplug computy, plug back in. Computy goes, I'm not computy anymore. I'm someone different.
I don't know who I am yet. It's like when the doctor reboots.
Yeah.
It's like that first day when the doctor's still trying to figure out who they are at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah. The doctor has regenerated into a fancy new coat, but doesn't know how it fits. Listen, everyone, shut up. Other than the robbery, everything's been great. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
Hey, so in between then and the last time you saw us and now, the election.
Prove it.
We haven't done a show since the election, bro.
Yo, can I tell you
Shit.
one of the saddest things
Was the election.
was the election.
And getting robbed.
And getting robbed. And then one of the other things was watching like exactly the same sort of crackpot shit post-election going through like libs in denial who are like, all the data runs through a router that is controlled by
Starlink, and
which is
Elon
controlled
Musk.
by Elon Musk. There was a TikTok going around that I swear was a woman who was smelling pennies and tasting bitter almonds the whole time she was talking. And she was like, I know a lot about a computer, and I can tell you this, computer voting, do Linux. Linux can't send more than one kind number at a time through route because of IPv6. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, this has 7 million views.
No. Listen.
This has 7 million views.
Okay.
Listen,
I want to
denial
give
is one of the acceptance stages.
Denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay.
Yeah.
Listen, I give a lot of grace to people that are struggling to accept what's going on right now. And also to the fact that when people on the left don't accept the election, they make a TikTok being sad about it. And then when people on the right don't accept an election, they do an insurrection on the Capitol building.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so like when I say not accepting the results, I want to just clarify the difference between those things.
Yeah,
right?
it's like the difference between your friend who lives on a farm and believes that like essential oils will cure everything.
Sure.
And then like your friend who lives on a farm and believes that no one should be vaccinated and they have to protect their land with guns.
Yeah, and says them a lot.
Says them.
Not a friend. Yeah. So look, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around. Unfortunately, I think it is most helpful, most functional at this time to believe that the results are what they are.
Yeah.
And take responsibility for the state of our country.
It is, as they say, what it is.
And what it is really fucking bad. Since the election, not only did those results come out, but Trump has started appointing his cabinet of fucking chaos.
Hey, you know the guy who resigned right before the
investigation
into sexual trafficking.
Yeah, of minors.
Finished up. You know that guy who he resigned just in the nick of time.
He can change the rules now.
He's the attorney general.
He can just change the rules now, guys.
He can be the attorney general if
Yeah.
he wants as a treat because
Yeah.
he got that good eyebrow lift
Hey.
and now we trust him.
You know the anti-vaxxer who had a worm eat part of his brain? In charge of the health department.
Hey, he literally was so unhealthy he didn't know there was a worm in
Eating
his
it.
brain.
Eating his brain.
So not only did he not know there was a worm eating his brain, he is missing a large worm-sized portion of his brain.
Yeah.
And now he is going to say, what if we tried a raw milk? And here's what I say. Here's what I say. If you're dumb enough to try raw milk, you deserve the bacteria that grow within you. Don't
Sure.
drink raw milk.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do it. Hey, can I, before we delve more into this, can I tell you one good fun thing?
You may.
So one of the days that we took off, I went to Cincinnati, Ohio, humble brag. And
Very humble.
the humblest of brags.
Extremely humble.
For my little cousin's bar mitzvah.
Uh-huh.
And something occurred to me while I was at the bar mitzvah, like when me and my cousins and all of us were very little and we had our bar mitzvahs,
Uh-huh.
we come from, I think I've told you before, a rare breed of, they're gone now, Jewish tough guys
Sure.
who like came over after World War II and were like, everybody tried to kill me and they couldn't. I'm invincible and I'll do what I want.
Sure.
And I don't trust the government.
Yeah.
And you would walk around a bar mitzvah like it was a rule while my grandpa was alive.
Yeah.
That like 30 to 40% of anybody at a family gathering, you didn't know.
Yeah.
No one knew them. My mother was like, I didn't know half the people at my own wedding.
Okay.
And what would happen is if you were a little kid walking around at one of these things, inevitably somebody would be like, "Hey, kid," and you'd turn around and there would be just like this wide rectangle of a Jewish man chomping on a cigar, indeterminate age, and you'd go up to him and be like, "Do you know who I am? I'm your grandpa's cousin, Schmeckle." And they'd pull out a fucking wad of money and they'd peel off like a crazy amount of money and they'd hand it to you and they'd be like, "This is for you. You don't have to tell your parents you have it. Who am I?" And you just look down at the money, you look up, you'd be like, "Your cousin Schmeckle. That's right. Good boy." This shit happened all the time.
So was this happening at the bar mitzvah?
No, because they're all dead. So me and my cousin Jeremy looked at each other and I said, "I'm doing it."
It's your turn.
Jeremy's like, "Oh, you got to do it." I'm like, "I'm doing it.
Yeah.
We have to do it." Because this kid doesn't know who I am. I haven't seen this kid since he was like 4 years old.
And you flew to... Okay, yeah.
Well, because it was a family gathering.
I get it. My family isn't like that.
Yeah, no, my family, we decide which ones are important. And it was less like I didn't really know the kid and more like this was my cousin Nicole's first kid's bar mitzvah. And
Of course.
I know my cousin Nicole very well. We came
Yeah.
up together. So I go up to this kid. He's talking with his friends. They're all doing that thing where they're 13 and they think they're so cool because they're at a party.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a big party and it's for them. And they're like
Yeah.
feeling very adult because they're in suits. And I'm standing in the corner and I'm leaning and I have my cane because, when I fly,
Yeah.
I get real bad. So I have my cane. So I'm leaning in a cane
You're
in a
officially
suit.
a man of indeterminate age.
Yes. I'm leaning in a cane and a suit.
Yeah.
And I go, "Hey, kid." And he turns around and he goes, "Come here."
Your yelling voice sounds like chirp.
Yeah. It's weird that we're not both in the same room at the same time. No one's ever seen us together. The kid, he comes over and I go, "Do you know who I am?"
No!
And he
You
goes,
did it.
He goes, "No." I go, I'm your cousin Anthony." I reach into my pocket and I went to the ATM beforehand to do
Goddamn
this.
right.
And I pull out all this cash and I hand it to him. And I go, "You did a good job today. This is for you. You don't have to tell your parents you have it. Who am I?" And he goes, "You're my cousin Anthony." I'm like, "That's right." And he walks
tradition continued.
And he walks over to his friends and he's like, I can see them all whispering. He's like, "Mom," and he like points back at me. And he's like, and you can just see him like, "I just said I didn't have to tell my parents about it. Like this money's
Nice.
just for me." And then I walked over to his dad and I was like, "Now's when we find out whether your kid's a narc." And he's like, "I bet my kid doesn't narc." I was like, "I bet he does."
Well, there we go.
And the kid did not narc. He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
Cheers to that. Everybody, listen. Let's get to a bit of stuff. Since we were talking about election things, we took a break
let's
from
jump
it.
into it.
But we got to get into the big story. The Onion has bought InfoWars.
Now, a lot of people thought this was a joke because the news came from The Onion.
Naturally.
This is real. Alex Jones and InfoWars, of course, were seized by a government bankruptcy auction because he lied about children being murdered in order to sell fake vitamins to angry old men who think frogs make you gay.
We're turning the frogs gay.
The water makes the frogs gay, and then the kids lick the toads to get high, and then they become...
Listen,
anyway,
he owes over $1 billion to the Sandy Hook Foundation, to the victims affected by the Sandy Hook shooting, and he obviously could not pay that.
No. You can sell all the fake vitamins in the world. You're not going to be able to pay that. Ben Collins, who is the founder of The Onion, somebody started, when InfoWars went up for auction, a couple people tweeted and were like, "Hey, Ben, The Onion has the opportunity to do the funniest thing." And so he literally scraped up all of The Onion's money, went and found investors, and started putting bids on the entirety of InfoWars' IP. Not like the physical studio or anything, because that shit, who cares? I mean, we could use some cameras depending on how that auction goes.
Yeah.
But bought the brand, bought the trademarks, bought the website, bought the social, bought everything. Their bid came up a little short.
Mm-hmm.
The Sandy Hook Family Foundation, the coalition of families who had children either at or unfortunately killed at Sandy Hook, gave them the rest of the money and said, buy the Onion, or buy the
Buy InfoWars.
Buy InfoWars. They gave them the money and said, buy InfoWars. You can ruin this man as a treat the way he has ruined our lives.
Please ruin his life forever.
Ben Collins has said that he is getting together an all-star Justice League, Avengers, whatever you want to call it, of people who are working or have worked for The Onion and Clickhole. There are people that are quitting television and writer's room jobs to go back to The Onion.
Yeah.
To make the new InfoWars channel. They are going to own InfoWars, and they are just going to start posting to InfoWars. And what I love about this is, you and I were chatting about this a little bit. The elderly fools who love the InfoWars, and the youthful fools who love the InfoWars.
Only idiots love InfoWars.
Bad at internet, bad at truth, bad at understanding. Here's what they're going to know. They're going to know that InfoWars made a new post on Facebook, because that's the only place they are.
Sure.
And they're not going to know that it's fake post. How long do you think it's going to take them to figure it out? Do you think...
It depends on how they go about this.
That's the thing.
It really depends. We don't know what they're going to post yet. Nobody at The Onion has talked about what kind of content they're going to be putting on InfoWars. My personal dream is for them to find an Alex Jones lookalike.
Yes.
I want, that is a generic looking man. If somebody can just harness the crazy in their eyes, they can do it. Any bald Hank Schrader looking white man, as long as they can get that kind of like just years of violent insanity in their eyes, can do this.
Hey, Alex, can you put up this picture of the bad Alex? If you have been in any improv class or theater, or any regional comedy show,
you know a guy who looks like this.
Make sure they tweet at Ben Collins and say, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I've got a resume.
I'm here. I'm ready.
I'm willing to be absolutely unhinged.
God, thank you. Bless. He put up a video on his Twitter trying to direct people to follow his personal social accounts, right?
Good luck, bud.
And yeah, good fucking luck, right? And of course, immediately jumps to conspiracy, even though nothing has even happened yet. He has the conspiracy that they changed the rules of the bidding right before and whatever. They wanted it to go to this. Hey, it doesn't matter. Hey, it actually doesn't matter because it wasn't up to you anymore because you committed crimes against dead children, bro.
Yeah, pay your child support, asshole. Did you ever do that? Did you ever settle that? Did you ever? Because you owe $1 billion.
He owes a lot of money about children to a lot of people.
You owe $1 billion to the Sandy Hook families and so much alimony and child support.
How interesting.
So weird.
How interesting. So listen, here's what I want you all to do. In addition to telling your friends that look like him to go ahead and tweet, block Alex Jones' personal social channels. We talked a little bit ago about how people were putting together like celebrity block lists of being the only way to truly like deplatform and get them deprioritized in algorithms. Everybody block his personal social channels. You can unblock InfoWars. You probably got him blocked.
Yeah.
You can unblock InfoWars. We don't know what's going to happen there yet, but let's make sure that people see what The Onion is posting on InfoWars, and let's make sure no one sees what Alex Jones has to say.
I think the best thing they could do, I know Alex Jones lookalike is one, but if they brought in a new guy who didn't look like Alex Jones and whose entire first video was about how they wrestled control of InfoWars back from the left.
Ooh, that'd be good.
And welcome to the new InfoWars. Don't
Yeah.
worry, it's back in the hands of the people that know what they're doing. And then immediately went on to be like, the most unhinged, not beholden to a network or his own sense of propriety, Stephen Colbert in his heyday.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd really have something.
But like all you have to do is say it in the right tone of voice,
Yeah.
right? Because you could say like really functional, correct, educated things. But if you say it kooky, like done. It's the same thing where I'm like, when I'm talking to tech bros, sometimes I could just tell them that my work was AI and they'll like it better.
Yeah.
So this is them where you're like, ooh, and the vaccines are making people straight.
Uh-oh.
The vaccines are doing conversion. You gotta get vaccinated or you're gonna get gay. It's in the air now.
That's
Go
right.
get vaccinated.
That's right.
So you don't get the gay. You know? You know what I mean? We can really take the Alex Jones approach to actual information.
One thing The Onion did during the election I really loved is they had a TikTok that was it was a fake news report that said KKK wins control, or like Nazis win control of traditionally KKK district.
Yeah.
And it was two anchors talking to each other. It's like, now this has been a KKK district since the 1960s. What does it mean now that the Nazis are in there? And it cuts to like the other anchor, and the anchor's like, this is a big change. Like,
Yeah. They had a lot of that. They were keeping up this like news anchors,
Yeah.
like Fox News looking kind of network during it, which was really, really great. I also, I don't know if I mentioned this on the show when it was right before the election. My next door neighbor, who's like an older white man, we don't talk. When we pass by each other and we text when there's a package left at the wrong door, he texted me a link to one of those from The Onion that was like making fun of Donald Trump as a like, just so you know, hey, your
The
weird old
walking-
white guy neighbor is totally not a Trump supporter. I just want you to know that.
the walking around the neighborhood the day after and subtly just being like, always politely asking people, how you doing? You know what I mean?
Oh, it's telling.
But walking the next day and just being like at the coffee shop and being like, so how are you doing?
And if
Just like-
anybody said anything other than, oh, you knew.
Yeah. We immediately put them in a weather balloon and
Yeah.
launch them into space.
Yeah,
I wish
we
that
send
were
them to
true.
the heavy side layer.
That's right.
I went to a Raising Cane's
Humble brag.
after the election. It was like on my way home. It's all right, guys. It's just all right.
Raising Cane's
I'll be
is
honest.
just-
It's
it's
just
fine.
all right. I don't know. It was like my second time trying.
Is it even is it a big deal outside of here, or is it just a big
I
deal
think
here
it
because we don't
is.
have many of them?
I think it's like the way we are about In-N-Out, where like we don't talk about it all the time, but like I do feel passionate about In-N-Out as a Californian.
I'm not passionate
Well,
about
you're not
In-N-Out.
Californian,
No.
you know?
I mean, I've been here for a
Anyways.
while.
Anyways, all that in mind, pull up, woman with an iPad in the drive-through, and she goes, "Hi, how are you doing?" And I like, you know, she has her best I'm doing customer service voice, and then I look up at her and I'm like, "Well," and she goes, "It's so bad." And I was like, "Oh, honey, no." And she goes, "I'm on a double shift. I haven't had time to process yet, but America hates women." And I was like, "Yeah, honey.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I'm so sorry."
Hey, America and all adults, I want us to, this sort of thing, I want us to normalize it at all times, not just times of awful,
Yeah.
you know, this thing where it's just like, hey, I'm going to be real because I'm a real human.
Yeah.
I'd like that normalized more.
I think that there is a mindset shift that does wonders of aligning yourself with the workers over the customers. When you walk into a place of business, you are the same as the workers. You are not a separate thing that is a customer. When you align yourself as a customer, you align yourself with the business and the interest of the business. Align yourself with the workers. We are the same. Anyways, yeah, she then looked at me and said, "It's going to be okay." And then I cried in a Raising Cane's
You cried at
drive-thru.
the Raising Cane's?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, rolling up my window, pulling up to the next window, crying.
As you ate your dry sauceless chicken?
Yeah.
I'm just
I
picturing you
think that's
sitting.
supposed to be what makes Raising Cane's good is probably the sauce, and that's probably why it's really mediocre to me because I don't like sauce.
No, I think what makes Raising Cane's good is that most people are used to the weird fake like grade Z like reconstituted chicken product
Sure.
that has like we had some fast food nugs last night
Sure.
and they're great,
Sure.
but they are nuggets.
Yeah.
I don't consider them chicken.
No, that's a totally separate thing.
So when you go to Raising Cane's and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I would like some chicken, they give it to you and you go, oh, that's chicken.
Yeah.
And I think people are surprised by that.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Hey, we can circle back. I knew somebody was going to ask. Saige will only eat dry sauceless nugs.
I occasionally will use ketchup.
So like,
But, like,
so rarely.
It's a little, like a dot. That's
you
it.
can hear the grinding
That's
of
not-
sand as like as she swallows something. It's like a cartoon character eating rocks. It's like
I'm a very polite eater. Thank you.
No, I'm saying it's not you making the noise. It's simply the dry on dry. Hey, there's something that we can take a little bit of cold comfort in around this horrible, horrible next 40 years. Alex's mic is broken. You could not hear the, oh God.
Yeah, we can't act like it's 4. There's a Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, actions have repercussions.
What?
I was telling somebody, I was like, let me tell you what, I can trash a hotel room in 30 seconds. I can't clean a hotel room in 30 seconds.
Yes.
You can do damage real quick. It's fixing things and building things that takes a long time.
What?
So with that in mind, a lot of people do seem to be regretting their decision, perhaps a moment too late, Saige. The top trending searches the day after the election in swing states was, can I change my vote?
Hey,
Can I change my vote?
hey, no offense, but you dipshit motherfuckers.
We just
No
wanted,
offense.
We just wanted to own the libs, Saige.
But
You can see right here, November 8th, and then as we go up over the next few days, what we really have here is, what is a tariff? This is worldwide. This is the United States. What is a tariff is topping it. Can I change my vote? Not trending in the United States, but if we were to drill down into swing states in particular, the number one search was, can I change my vote? I think we've seen enough of that graph. I cannot explain to you the cry, like the I'm not crying, I'm yapping that I did when I saw this. I burst into the most manic laughter
you
I've ever laughed.
absolute fucking dipshits. I somehow I am still surprised. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, look, here's what we learned. Okay? We who are capable of learning. We who did not have to Google what is a tariff and can I change my vote. We attempted to appeal to morality and humanity. And that was not effective. We tried to say, hey, what about people's rights? Hey, why was slavery on the ballot in California
Yeah.
and kept? Why, right? This is wrong, right? We all can look around and say, this is wrong. We can all see that this is wrong. And then instead, people kept saying, but money, but eggs, but gas prices.
Right.
And what we needed to say was, sit down. I'm tying you to a chair and telling you what a tariff is. You absolute moron.
Oh, and the thing, like, because you can find 100 billion clips of Donald Trump saying, "Oh, we're gonna put a tariff on them,
And we're
China's gonna pay so
Everything.
much. They're
Mexico's gonna pay for a wall.
They're
China's
gonna pay
gonna
so
pay for the
much.
tariffs.
China's gonna pay so much for these tariffs, and we're gonna make it." And it's like, no, China doesn't pay for the tariff, asshole. The ship literally shows up at the harbor and gets a bill, and the goods stay on the ship until someone pays the bill. China doesn't pay the bill.
No.
China shipped the goods.
That's just not what a tariff is.
China shipped the goods. They got their money already before they put it on the ship. That 30% tariff has to be paid by the person accepting the goods.
Yeah.
So this is kind of interesting because it brings us to one of my favorite subreddits is making just a huge comeback. The Leopards Ate My Face subreddit. This, of course, comes from the old viral tweet of "Can't believe a leopard ate my face," says the woman who voted for the Leopards Eating Faces party.
Yes.
Right? The number of posts on Leopards Ate My Face over the last 2 weeks that are businesses and business owners sitting people down and saying, hey, just so you know, we're going to have to do some layoffs. We're going to have to cut end of year bonuses because this is the last quarter we can buy raw materials at the current price. So we need to put all of our money into materials and not people so that next year when the material costs go up, we can still keep making, because we have long-term contracts that last into next year. And if we don't get, if the price of what we do goes up, we're going to start making way less money.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to keep those prices down as long as we can. Not prices for people, prices for them.
And it's crazy because, look, I fell into those TikTok debate maze constantly, right? I was watching so many of them. They were absolutely dominating my feed through the election cycle. And the amount of people that jumped on and were like, I want tariffs on China. I want China to pay. Most of that is just like a weird, like creepy, xenophobic idea of China. But for some reason, everything that's bad in their life is China's fault. Mostly CIA propaganda. But going forward, constantly there were people on these lives going, that's not how tariffs work.
Yeah.
And they were like, sure it's not. Sure it's not. Okay, do you know or does my future president know? And they're like, we know. Your future president actually genuinely doesn't know.
Actually lying to you
doesn't know
again.
anything at all.
Consistently lying to you.
And then they saw after when people on the left started laughing at them. And in moments of such despair, to see us laugh is very troubling.
Yeah.
It's very terrifying. And they started looking around going, wait, wait, guys, wait, what? Okay, wait. And then on November 6th, they decided to Google it. For the first time, they decided, wait a minute.
Wait, what's a tariff?
Should I?
Because somebody at their work, somebody at their job, somebody the next day that they actually know probably explained to them what a tariff is, and they had to look it up just to be sure.
Yes.
They had to look it up because they were like, that doesn't sound right.
Yep.
A lot of things they just believed that were not told to them or were not explained. I mean, one of them, and this is another thing we can laugh about, one of them is Elon Musk. Elon Musk was running around, literally jumping up and down for joy like a dipshit.
Willing to pay people $1 million to vote in a swing state.
Yeah, willing to break the law and offer bribes for votes.
Which, guys, was ruled as okay. So if you're like, oh my God, are they committing some kind of secret voter fraud? No, they're committing very loud public voter fraud.
Yeah. Was just like, I am going to be there the whole time and I'm going to have Trump's ear and everything's going to work out for me. Trump said that he was going to be made the czar of the Department of Government Efficiency, which Elon Musk named because it becomes Doge. Because he sucks. Because he sucks. He sucks. He sucks. He's the worst. He's awful. He sucks. He was not made the leader of the Department of Government Efficiency. Trump already has insulted him multiple times publicly, because here's the thing about these two guys.
Mm-hmm.
The two of them getting together would be awful, but it's like in the old cartoons when the Joker and Lex Luthor get together and they eventually, Batman and Superman don't stop them. They stop each other.
Yes.
Because they cannot get along.
Yes, it's too much evil for one room.
It's too much narcissistic evil for one room. The two of them, they could get a lot done if they would allow the other person to take a little bit of credit, but they can't. So actually, Vivek Ramaswamy, who was, if you may remember, one of the minor clowns in the earlier part of the Republican election, and the primaries, is now the head of the Department of Government Efficiency and has proposed defunding programs that are just too full of waste, including veterans health care and early education and individualized educational programs. Now, if you don't know what those are, my mom was a teacher and she had to teach a lot of these. This is a child who has some sort of learning disability, emotional issue, something like that, where they need a little bit more attention in a public school. And so they are put in a special program or given an individual plan for education that the teacher has to do separately from the rest of the class. Those are going to be cut. The number of veterans for Trump, the amount of absolute dipshits in their gigantic trucks who were veterans for Trump, only Trump understands the troops. Sorry.
The draft dodger?
The draft dodger?
What?
Who says he doesn't like his war heroes captured?
What?
Do you remember that?
And called them all, what was it, losers and fools or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls everybody losers and fools. I feel comfortable
specifically
confirming
said
that.
the military.
Yeah. They're cutting all these programs. I saw tons of tweets from people that are like, hey.
Suckers. That's what he called them.
I saw tons of tweets from people that are like, wait a minute, like my kid is autistic. My kid has this learning disability. My kid has this.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to cut that though, is he? He's just cutting things. Because here's what the problem with rhetoric about the bad people and the others are.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thinks they're the others.
Nope.
If you buy into it, you believe you're one of the good ones.
Looking at you, the massive portion of white women that voted for Trump.
So many tweets, so many questions, so many articles about people who, well, I'm naturalized, but my parents aren't, and they've worked here for 40 years. And are they going to be? They're not going to be deported, right? They're American. They've lived here for so long, and they put their time in. And
oh no, he's not just talking about illegal immigrants when he talks about deportation. They talk about denaturalization.
Yeah, Stephen Miller.
Which sounds like a supervillain's fucking plan, doesn't it? Just the word in itself.
But even before like the denaturalization, the people who are tweeting this about their parents, people or their significant others.
Yeah.
I'm a citizen. My girlfriend, my wife, my husband isn't, but we've been together for 40 years and we're married and we own a business and we have, surely not us, right? Because we're the good ones. I kid you not. Like this can be an r/Republicans and the comments will be like, yes, your illegal girlfriend is getting deported. Give me your address. I'll call INS. Yes, your parents will get kicked out. And if we have our way, we'll kick you out too. Because you were born here illegally. Naturalization, what is that? And Stephen Miller, like you were talking about, came out and said, oh yeah, we're starting denaturalization.
Yeah.
It's a big plan. Just because you were born here, if your parents were illegal and you were born here, send you back. And when they asked the head of immigration, naturalization, border, all that stuff, when they asked him, well, what do you do? Surely there's got to be a way to keep families together. And he goes, yeah, we deport the whole family.
Yep.
They can all go back if they want. What do you mean? They're American citizens. What do you mean? You can't say. Do you remember the guy that during the first Trump administration who was sent back to Iraq, had never been to Iraq, was from an Iraqi family, but had never been there, didn't speak the language, needed insulin, died in Iraq 6 weeks later.
6 weeks. Everybody, listen. I think that the lesson to take away from the leopards ate my face of it all is siding with the oppressor does not mean that you will be spared. You're not special.
If only there was if only there were 1,000 historical events. You know what I mean?
If only there was any kind of historical data, books, history for us to learn from to see that this wouldn't work in the way that we thought it would.
It's weird. It's weird that nobody warned us. The leopards, they do be hungry. Hey, can I talk about what I think we have to do in these dark times?
Sure.
We have to get just as absurd as the Times. we have no choice. It's time to get just a little bit crazy.
Okay.
Like Seal once said.
Okay.
You remember Seal?
Yeah.
We're never gonna survive
Is that the song people know from Seal?
unless
I don't know what that song is.
we get a little crazy. You don't remember that song?
No, everyone knows one Seal song
You
and
sing
one Seal
Kiss from
song.
a Rose.
Yeah.
Sure. That's the song. But he has a second song. There is a fly. They didn't steal The Fly.
I wish they would.
The Fly is still in the studio. Everybody's like, yeah, I know that song. Yeah, Kiss from a Rose is the song. But
Anyways.
everybody shut up. It's time to get weird.
Well.
There has been a bear in LA.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a bear in Glendale and in Valley Village. Not too far away from us, but not too close to us. Don't try to find us. Don't fucking compromise our OPSEC.
It's in Los Angeles. You
It's-
can just say that.
Listen, it's somewhere, and so are we. Fuck off about it.
Great.
Listen,
Go on.
This bear mauled,
Yeah.
destroyed, like 5 different cars across 3 occasions.
On video.
On video.
And the insurance claims were big.
Big claims.
$150,000 or so
We're
of
talking
insurance
about
claims.
These cars.
Very expensive cars.
One of Rolls-Royce Ghost. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's such an expensive car. All of these cars, like a few Mercedes, a bunch of we're talking about $150,000 worth of claims.
This bear had expensive taste.
This bear was destroying stuff. Hey, the police and the insurance companies looked into it. We have a picture of the bear. It was just a dude in a costume. These 5 people got one of their friends to go around in a bear suit and destroy their cars so they could claim the insurance.
Now, look, they had put this in front of an expert who looked at the footage of the bears inside of the cars and said, hey, that's not a bear. That is absolutely a man.
That's a man,
and then
dude.
They got a search warrant and they searched the 5 guys' houses and found the bear costume in their house. These guys didn't even get rid of the bear costume when they committed their insurance fraud.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I appreciate the gusto. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the sort of thing where if you're sitting around, and these are some, I want to say all these people are semi-young. They're not the oldest.
Sure, but they've got Rolls Royce and shit.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Young people, if you're young enough and stupid enough to have that kind of car, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Either because you come for money or because you spent way too much money and now you have nothing but a car.
Sure.
And you're sitting around coked up
Sure.
and you're coming up with an idea to get out of this car debt.
Yeah.
I think the bear thing sounds just stupid enough to work. Like, I think it sounds just a little crazy enough to work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because, like,
But it isn't, because it didn't. Oh,
yeah, can we
I'll
hear that
play it
back? Can we
back
play
for
that
you.
back in my monitor?
I need to mute this fucking Twitch stream. I can't play anything right now without it doing that. Anyway.
I love this. Of course, all 5 people have charges of fraud against them. They are evaluating whether to file additional criminal charges in the case. Defamation against bears,
Yeah.
probably. The bear. We haven't heard from the Bear Defamation League yet.
Yeah. I saw earlier somebody in the chat say, I'd still choose the bear before they realized that unfortunately this was a man.
What if we told you the bear was a man in a bear suit, the most dangerous of men?
This is devastating for all of us who choose the bear.
You thought you were safely choosing being mauled by a bear.
I really thought
It turns out it was a man anyway.
we cannot let our guard down. When choosing the bear, you must be very careful. We must learn to identify bears very accurately. This made me think of another person who had insurance fraud that's been in the news this week that I forgot to put in the spreadsheet.
Did they find out about me?
Listen, I made a little bit of a TikTok about this, but Ryan Borgward,
Bark, bark.
hilarious
Err.
name to say. So fun. Now, you may have heard that name before as a man who supposedly died in a kayaking accident. Except he didn't, and he faked his own death to flee to Europe to meet up with his mistress.
That's right. That's right. He died and made the life insurance claim on himself and then took that claim?
So, listen. Man in
What?
Wisconsin, okay? Husband, father of 3.
Yeah.
Goes out onto a lake one day in his kayak. His family puts out a search for him. They find the kayak overturned. They go, oh no, he drowned.
The first,
no.
The first clue should have been that the kayak was overturned in like the gutter.
Yeah.
Like they didn't live near a river.
Yeah. It was just like on the side of
It
the
was
road.
just like in a gutter after a rainstorm, and they were like, damn.
So he had last texted his wife that night saying that he was turning his kayak around to head to shore soon. And then he didn't come home. 54 days of search, okay? They got drones. They got sonar. They got cadaver dogs. No body. No evidence. Nothing, okay? Then they widen it out a little bit. And they discover that his name had been checked by border officials.
Borgor officials?
In Canada. Border officials. 2 days later. The day after he was reported missing.
Okay. So he clearly already had a secret bank account his family didn't know about because he had to be living in Canada for like 54 days.
What? 2 days later, his passport was used.
Oh, okay. No, but I'm saying like they searched for 54 days. So like he already had.
They discovered it late. They just didn't know that his passport had been
Gotcha.
used. So it was used 2 days after,
I get you,
but they didn't find it out.
What I'm saying is, before this claim, he clearly had some money socked away.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wasn't taking, like, if I disappeared and my significant other was like, oh no, he's gone and I think he's dead. And also somebody's buying a ton of Evangelion figures on my account.
Sure.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's strange. How would somebody do this at the same time my husband is missing?
Right. So they think, well, his passport's been stolen then. Maybe he was murdered out on the lake.
Somebody's buying those Evangelion figures, and it can't be my dead husband.
However, his previous passport was recovered by his wife, indicating that he had actually a new copy of his passport.
He got that real ID.
He got a new copy of his passport, and they're like, okay, well, someone else probably couldn't have done that. Then they did a forensic analysis of his laptop, and they found that he had taken out a $375,000 life insurance policy, had transferred funds to a foreign bank account, photographed his new passport, and altered his email address before he disappeared.
And bought a bear suit.
Then he replaced the laptop's hard drive and cleared his browser history the day before he disappeared. Everyone should know that browser history isn't deleted, you dipshits.
No.
That's not real.
The browser history is like, at this point, browser history is just to help the people in your house see how fucked up you really are. As far as finding your data and what you've been doing, browser history is like the least of it. That's clown shoes, dude.
Listen, the thing that we know right now is his family is completely cooperating with authorities. If I was his wife and he faked his death on his 3 kids, I would too.
Hey, Saige.
I would too.
Saige.
Yeah.
Tell him how they found out where this guy was. Tell him how he resurfaced.
So here's the thing.
Tell him how he resurfaced.
He hasn't officially been found.
Okay.
But a video has shown up on TikTok.
What kind of video, Saige?
A video from Pullover for Advice, where a woman is sitting on the street with a sign that says, ask me for free advice. I've got it on my screen. I'm going to play it with no audio because I think there's like a TikTok, sound or something in it. Where...
Who comes up and asks for advice?
Oh, well, that would appear to be Ryan Borgward saying,
Not
hey,
Borgward.
Should I go to Uzbekistan or stay here? And she said, well, what's in Uzbekistan? And he says, a woman. And she says, okay, you don't like American women? He says, no, they're familiar. And she said, okay, so you're single looking to go meet women in Uzbekistan? And he said, no, I'm married. And she's like, the fuck, bro? What do you mean? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, does your wife know about this? And he goes, not yet. I guess I got to deal with that. This dude.
So I guess he did.
looks so fucking cooked out of his mind, okay? And I can't tell if he's on drugs or if he's had a psychotic break and he's in like just the coasting patch after. That's what I think is happening. I think this dude fucking lost his goddamn mind and he is operating with no CPU.
So this is before his disappearance, but this is how they found out his plan.
Well,
Because, I mean, they found it out through the data, but then they looked and they were like, hey,
this video has not been confirmed yet.
that's
actually.
probably Uzbekistan. He's probably in Uzbekistan.
And it would appear that up until his disappearance, he was communicating with a woman in Uzbekistan, specifically. Now, here's the thing. People have not confirmed that this was him, okay?
Sure.
People have no idea.
Sure.
It was not public that he had been communicating with a woman in Uzbekistan, so it is kind of a weird coincidence if it isn't him, right? That this man that looks exactly like him is talking about if he should leave his wife for a woman in Uzbekistan. He says that his children are out of the house. They're not. He's like, I'm an empty nester. My kids are out of the house. They're not. He has, like, teenage children.
I'm an empty nester. My kids are out of my mind.
Yeah.
I don't think about them at all.
Right.
They're
exactly.
not in the picture.
Yeah. Nest empty.
Nest empty.
Nest empty up here.
Nest empty. Thinking about Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Only Uzbekistan.
So he didn't use a fake passport. He got a new copy of his own passport. He definitely used it at the Canadian border 2 days after he supposedly went missing. And this video has not been acknowledged as any kind of evidence of anything yet because they have not confirmed that this is actually him.
No, but like somebody behind the scenes is laughing their ass off right now. Just like, why? How are they always this dumb?
God.
We got him. We got him, boys.
God.
We got him, boys. Between this and the Evangelion statues.
God, they're all so dumb. God, they're all so dumb.
Yeah. So there you go. It's beautiful, really.
It is. So he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Actually, the original account I do want to acknowledge is a woman who goes by Authentic Alpha. I don't know.
Listen, we're not saying she's good or the TikToks are good.
I don't know. I hope that's ironic because if it is, that's hilarious. But I'm not endorsing whoever this creator is. That is just where the original thing. And then she posted a follow-up TikTok that says, me finding out I might have done an interview with Ryan Borgward. Borgward. Yeah. I don't know. It's been featured on the news so far. It's not confirmed yet.
But I love it.
God, he committed more insurance fraud than the men with the bear car.
Can I tell you?
$375,000.
I love this. Can I continue stupid criminal news?
Let's keep going.
I love stupid criminal news. Nintendo's lawyers have been having quite a year.
Yeah.
God, it's a great year to be a Nintendo lawyer.
Yeah.
If you want to stomp on people like they were so many Goombas,
Yeah.
this is your year, baby. Nintendo,
Sure.
of course, has shut down both major Switch emulators. They have shut down major ROM sites.
Mm-hmm.
They have shut down everything. They are cooking right now because that Switch 2 is coming and it is clearly backwards compatible with everything. So they do not want you to have a Switch 2 emulator on day one.
Yeah.
But one man rose up, a dark knight, Saige, rose up against Nintendo's lawyers and
Sure.
said, we should be able to steal anytime we want.
Okay.
This is a man named
I'm going to let you finish.
Jesse Kean. Jesse Kean decided he was going to stream pirated Switch games, and not just pirated Switch games.
No.
Pirated Switch games before Street Date.
Yeah.
The early leaks of Switch games, he was going to stream them, and he was going to monetize those streams,
Uh-huh.
and he was going to let Nintendo know he was streaming. He sent messages to Nintendo. Bless you.
Thank you.
Nintendo says they submitted dozens of takedown notices to platforms such as YouTube and Twitch. Every time they shut him down, he starts a new channel.
Yeah.
And he says, and he actually said to Nintendo, he sent a letter to the company saying that he has 1,000 burner channels and, quote, I can do this all day. In this kid's mind, he's Captain America.
Hey,
He really said, I only watched the first half of the documentary, but it really makes it look like fucking around is fun.
yeah,
Surely, I had to turn it off because I had to leave,
Yeah.
but surely nothing happens after fucking around.
sure. That's the end of it, right?
That's the end of it.
And it sure isn't, dude. What do you mean? Nintendo is like notorious for suing people. It's their favorite thing to do. And here's the thing, okay? I generally want to land on the side of a person who's going up against a big gaming company's legal team, okay? I don't want to back a big company. I don't want to back a big company's lawyers, that's
No.
for sure. He's not doing something good.
No.
Streaming unreleased game leaks sucks. Like, you do
Yeah.
suck for it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, leaking games, leaking any footage from early games, leaking any, it's only bad. You're only like, listen, the least bad that you do, people come across your thing and you know, something gets spoiled or ruined for them.
Yeah.
We've talked before though about how these sorts of leaks can do material damage to corporations, boohoo, whatever. But at the same time,
Yes.
we have watched early alpha footage get leaked of games that has destroyed perception of a game and caused layoffs and stock dips, which boohoo stock dips. But unfortunately, when the stock goes down, the bad people at the company don't get fired.
Yeah.
The good people making the game get fired.
Yeah, the C-suite executives are always going to be fine,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So Nintendo says that Nintendo says that not only was he streaming these games, this dude was publicly sharing links and posting links to product keys, cryptographic keys. Now, you probably don't know this because you're a law-abiding person, but if you want to play a Switch emulator, you need the product keys from an actual Switch. It's the handshake mechanism that allows games to play. And dumping that off of your physical Switch can be hard.
Yeah.
And so bad, terrible criminals go to terrible websites that you should never visit to get the prod.keys file. And this dude was like, here, I put up the prod.keys in like 50 places today. Here's where you can get them. And Nintendo said, my guy, you are not just sharing games. You are not just like sharing early games,
Yeah.
which means you don't get that DMCA, I made a legal backup.
right.
But also you are sharing what's called it's a bypass. It's like a cryptographic bypass. And it's also patented intellectual property.
Yeah.
That's the bad shit. That's the shit you're not supposed to share.
Yeah.
That's the heavily industrial, secret, copyrighted shit. You could say like, hey, I have Super Mario RPG on a card and I made a backup of it.
Sure.
And they'll be like, well, we're still going to make your life hell and it'll cost you a bunch of legal fees.
Yeah.
But we can't get you. You share the product keys. They're like, now we got
We
you.
can totally get you.
Now we got you.
So currently, that gotcha is Nintendo seeking $150,000 in damages with respect to each copyrighted work. Now, that we are not sure, and in this article from Video Games Chronicle, they say they're not sure if that is for each time he has streamed the games or for each game that he streamed. So, per game would be $1.5 million currently. Per stream would be $7.5 million. They also seek $2,500 for each act of circumvention, as well as $2,500.
Oh, he's Jewish?
As well as $2,500 for each time he offered to help the public play emulated
You're
games.
not allowed to do that unless you're a certified rabbi in Moyle. Now look, kid stupid. Kid dumb. Somebody in the live studio audience is saying Xbox shut down Hi-Fi Rush and it was making money, so even if you release games with a silent drop and it sells well, it doesn't protect you. Zip it. You're lovely, but zip it. The fact that companies will still do bad things even if bad things don't happen to people
Yeah.
is not an excuse to
No.
do stuff like this.
Like this, you're just not Robin Hooding. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's-
Like there's a lot of
You are not-
things. If you want to be like, I'm a white hat hacker and I
Yeah.
want to do good things, there's a lot of things you can do to companies that do actually do good for gamers and the public. You know?
Yeah.
This just isn't one of them, so it's just dumb. You know?
Yeah.
It's just dumb. It's like, well, if there's no good result, then we can't justify any of the bad result that happens to anybody who works there.
Right.
If there was good, we can trolley problem here. But there's
Yeah.
no trolley,
That's
and
the
there's no
thing.
problem, and there's no other tracks.
It's not like, well, I guess bad things are going to happen, so I should just do bad shit anyway.
Yeah.
Like, let's agree that is a bit of a weird argument.
We try not to land in that.
Yeah, we try not to do
Somebody
that.
who's new here said, is this a professional production?
No.
Hi, welcome to
maybe.
Pixel Circus. This is a production studio. It's me. I'm the production company.
I'm licensed.
To drive a car.
It's professional.
That's it. This is the whole production. Alex is here. His microphone doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's me. Maybe it works now. Hello?
Oh, I see a tech mic.
I love you very much, and I'm also here.
So, you know, as professional as that can be.
No, I don't have a forklift license. You're right. You're right. We got if you're just coming in, we also got robbed.
Yeah.
We got robbed, and so do we
No, you're-
usually look a little bit more professional?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes we look a little bit more professional or sound a little bit more professional.
Yeah, but we like literally got robbed.
But some dudes busted down a door and took all the things that we use to make things.
I didn't realize that I had forgotten to tell Josh we got robbed. So then I casually mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, we're installing that thing because of the robbery. And he was like, the what? And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, the robbery that happened. Like you guys, it was not like, oh, like a homeless person broke a window. Like we got straight up robbed, dude. It was crazy.
Right. Oh boy. So yeah, look.
For those who want a little more information, there's a video available to everyone on the Patreon, all members, including free members.
So, listen, some people, they poke bears and they turn out to be guys in suits. Some people poke bears and they turn out to be Nintendo lawyers in bear suits.
Yeah.
And that's the worst kind of person you can poke.
Yeah.
So listen, would you choose a man or a bear? Would you choose a man, a bear, or a man in a bear suit? Would you choose a man, a bear, a man in a bear suit, or a Nintendo lawyer that's actually a bear but is also a man in a bear suit?
I choose the bear.
You gotta choose the
I
bear.
choose the bear. I choose the bear every time. All right, look, let's bring it up, okay? I got one good thing.
One good thing. One good thing.
One good thing.
One good thing.
Show my screen. This is it. This is the good thing. It's just seals in a slap fight.
Listen, slap fighting is a dangerous sport.
He's running away.
Slap fighting leagues are being shut down and deplatformed, and those seals need to know that they could get into serious injury.
Look at that. He had to run. Look at their little cat slap fight. This thing. I
Ugh.
love the wind back because my cats, I have two cats, and this is what my house looks like all the time.
Dude, my favorite
This
thing
is
is
the
when a cat goes
experience.
back and it's like, and it's figuring out
Yeah.
its angle of attack.
I had a cat growing up that I stole that because somebody wasn't taking care of their cat, so I stole their cat that had been declawed. I would never have my cat declawed. I want to preface that. But she was
was Nintendo.
real
It was Nintendo's
scrappy.
cat.
She was really scrappy, and she loved this move. She loved this as a threat to people, to other animals, anybody. Like she knew this was a threat, okay?
Yeah.
Like a old-timey mom holding a rolling pin. But because she was declawed, the scratch wasn't the same, so she learned to ball up her paw and fist and into a fist and punch. That cat would just bop. And it hurt, dude.
Yes.
Cat's got knuckles. That cat had hands, bro.
That's the day that kitten became a cat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
She figured it out. She went for a swipe one time and it didn't work, and she was like, I have to evolve. Bop.
My favorite is like when a little kitten does it and it stands up fully and does like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got to figure out which one to hit with, and I got to figure out the angle and the speed of the attack.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that
I
kid,
love
that
it.
cat was like 18 years old, punching, just fucking him up.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us
Oh
this
my God,
morning.
the show's over?
I thought that was you. I thought we were ending on the one good thing because the show's over because it's time.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we started late, but that's fine. We're going to call it. The other good news was Andor Season 2 got an announcement date.
Krennic! You're talking about Krennic Season 1 is what I call that.
Yeah, that is good.
Andor Season 2? No. Krennic Season 1.
Yeah.
We're going to get Ben Mendelsohn, Genevieve O'Reilly, Stellan Skarsgård,
Yeah.
Diego Luna,
Yeah.
all arguing about politics, wearing capes,
Yeah.
directed by Tony Scott.
April 2025. That's the last of the good news. We are going to end the show here. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the warm welcome back. We really appreciate that. We're going to go through and we're going to thank everyone that supported us during the show today. There are a lot of ways that you can do that. There are your subscriptions, your bits, your tips here. That's awesome. So fucking cool of you. We're going to shout you out in a minute. You can go to the Patreon if you want to get more content. We'll be doing a bonus Patreon video after this, patreon.com/pixelcircus.
That's right.
You can just follow the channel. You can follow us on socials. You can just like the video on YouTube. Those are all free things that help us out a ton, and it's really awesome of you. You can also tell a friend.
If you're on a train anytime in the next few days, open your window as you go by a city and scream out that you love Pixel Circus and everybody should watch it.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way you can help us.
All's great. All's good.
That's how professional productions
Yeah.
get the word out.
We're a professional production.
We are.
Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me everywhere at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. And of course, my science comedy podcast, We Have Concerns, at wehaveconcerns.com. Saige, fuck are you doing?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I'm making more short form stuff, so follow me on TikTok. How about Alex? Project Alex. Oh, it's muted. There you go.
Hello, I am Alex. You can find me on Twitter at Alder_Mancy and on Blue Sky now at AlderMancy and also on Instagram at AlexTeplitz. And I also want to say there's only like 8 hours left to back Confluence The Living Archive, which is on BackerKit right now, and I worked on the game and it's really beautiful, so go support it if you have the ability to do so.
Woo!
Yeah. If you couldn't
All
hear
right.
that, Confluence, The Living Archive. Go back out BackerKit.
Alex's link. Everybody, we're all moving over to Blue Sky.
Yeah.
We're all moving over to Blue Sky, I guess. I mean, we gotta swap out your Twitter link for your Blue Sky link in there at some point.
Though if you see me on Threads, please
Also on Threads.
please like my thread and interact with my thread because I'm in one of those Threads bonus periods right now.
So he's threatening.
And and the Meta and Facebook and Instagram do pay me for posting on Threads right now, so
There
I
you
appreciate
go.
that.
All right, listen up.
Hey,
Thank you to everybody who supported us during the show today. It was really freaking cool of you. We are recovering from a robbery, and we're gonna talk about it a lot. Survive the rest of your Friday. We love you. Thank you for spending your morning with us, and we'll see you on the Patreon or on Monday.
Where do you